Welcome back to Kiwi Bred. English Derby winner and shuttle stallion Pour Moi returns to New Zealand this season. I caught up with Windsor Park stud's Rodney Schick to discuss the sire of last season's Group 1 JJ Atkins winner, Sacred Elixir. Windsor Park stud master Rodney Schick might have had his wife Gina with him when he first travelled to Pour Stud to inspect English Derby winner Pour Moi. It was the stallion parading in front of him that was taking his breath away.
Well, Gina and I flew up to inspect him before he came down in his first season, and we were at the stallion barn there, and one thing I really noticed is we walked out of Saddler's Wells box, so I knew they thought a lot of him, and as you'll see from the footage, you know, he's a great type. He's a very muscular horse. He probably doesn't really look like a stayer. He's got a huge constitution, he's got a grouse head, and he's a really attractive horse. So it was love at first sight for me, and that's why he came down.
By former Windsor Park shuttle stallion Monsieur, Pour Moi was well received by New Zealand breeders, but in his second season at the Cambridge Stud Farm, he suffered an injury that was to stymie further return trips until now.
Look, he had an injury here in his second season at Stud, which actually affected him on his return and his insurance, so he had to have a couple of years back at home so that the insurance company was happy that he could travel, so we're very lucky to have him back this year.
Pour Moi covered 109 mares in his first New Zealand season, among them the Stravinsky mare Baltica, who from that mating produced Sacred Elixir, an expectation-defying Australian Group 1 winner of the JJ Atkins in Brisbane as a 2-year-old for Cambridge trainer Tony Pike.
Down the outside is Sacred Elixir. Charlie River narrowly on the outside. Sacred Elixir. Sacred Elixir has raced up and taken the lead from Charlie River. Sacred Elixir, the Kiwis in front, and Sacred Elixir sparing away with the Atkins. It's all Sacred Elixir, and Sacred Elixir bolts home by 4 lengths.
He's an English Derby winner, and you don't expect him to leave a Group 1 Australian 2-year-old winner. So Sacred Elixir has been huge for us, and the Pikes have done a fantastic job to get him up and to win that race and to win 2-year-old of the year, so it's a huge boost for the stallion.
Schick managed to secure the deal to shuttle Pour Moi back to Windsor Park Stud before Sacred Elixir's landmark win.
Look, I was working on it to get him back, you know. The Coolmore are very protective of some of those Derby winners these days, so no, it was great to get him back. I had the deal done before he won the Group 1, and I was actually on a plane to Europe at the time, so I was waiting very patiently on the plane, and when I arrived it was great to see all the texts come through to say that he'd won the race.
Considering him as an English Derby winner, could you have expected him to be siring Group 1 winning 2-year-olds down here?
You know, the good staying horses can do that. It's not that common, but I tell you, it really helps when you do get a horse like Sacred Elixir come out and be a Group 1 winning 2-year-old. And look, I think Tony Pike's got some big aspirations from the season, and I did hear in the media there that, you know, looking at the Cox Plate, so it's a great race for 3-year-olds, and he's certainly going to be competitive enough if he goes there.
How's the support been from, given that he had a couple of years off and that he's back?
Yeah, really good. He'd sold really well at the last year's sales. He sold, you know, some really nice horses. I think he sold up to 360,000. So he leaves a very good type, and as you know, we've seen how they can run. So, you know, his book's really good.
How have you sort of seen him develop physically from the time when you first saw him to now?
Oh, look, he was always a really physical horse. Even when he retired, he was a physical horse for a staying horse. I mean, he has let down more, probably a little bit myself. He's a good doer, loves his feed, but look, you know, he has let down more, but he's a physical horse.
Pour Moi is standing the 2016 breeding season at $17,500 plus GST, a price Schick is hoping will attract plenty of breeders, especially in the wake of siring the champion New Zealand 2-year-old from his first Southern Hemisphere crop.
Oh, it's huge. Every studmaster likes to have a stallion winning the champion 2-year-old award, and for a horse like Pour Moi, who's, you know, really horse is going to get better with age. It was very exciting, and I think well deserved. He's the highest rated 2-year-old of the year, so it was really good, and it's going to help Pour Moi.
How optimistic are you for the future with this stallion?
I'm pretty optimistic about most horses we stand, because you know, you've got to put a lot of backing into them. So look, he was a fantastic racehorse. He's got a lovely pedigree. He's already got himself a Group 1 winner as a 2-year-old. So look, I'm pretty optimistic. I mean, he's in a good spot.
That's Pour Moi, a classic winner himself, and we share Rodney's enthusiasm for the stallion's progeny as they enter their 3-year-old season. There's plenty more to come here on Kiwi Bred. After the break, we speak in depth to Hawke's Bay breeder Graham the Grucci about the Group 1 winning son of Pour Moi, Sacred Elixir, who hails from the family of champion racehorse and producer Horlicks. And our pedigree of the week is the Tony Pike trained Queensland Oaks winner, Provocative.